All right, hello everybody. So last we left the stream. Yeah, right. We're doing Last we left this stream. Oh, I have a new poster. Close the door. A new poster. The Majora's Mask. Woo. Why does it look like I'm tilted? Where's the poster tilted? Oh, the camera is tilted. There we go. Last we left this project, it was kind of a mess. It works fine. It does what it's supposed to, but it's kind of a mess. So basically what I've got here is I've got these two, they're just numbers, right? They're just placeholders. I just need to be able to tell them apart. And so what I want to happen is if something is full, then it's brown. If something is empty, it's orange. And the reason for that is okay, here's a good example. See how these weapons all take up a different amount of space, and you right? So I want it to be very obvious what is and isn't available for putting items in. And so I have this, right? So basically this just flips on and off depending on if there's an item in, if this right 2D exists. And then this just, where's the script? On ready. Wait, where's... And then this like randomly decides if there is or is not a texture. And then I forget exactly what I had to do to make that. Anyway, if you go into 2D here, you can see that if I close and reopen the main scene, it randomizes because of using the @tool script. Anyway, that's about as far as I got. So I can display everything, but I can't move it around. Right, if I click it, nothing happens. If I drag, nothing happens. And that's where my YouTube tabs come in. I've been saving them for like 2 weeks. Let me put this in another tab. I've been saving them for like 2 weeks. So, I think this was the one I wanted.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial.
Yeah, there we go.
Today we will dive into
Oh, hey, I missed a bunch of messages. Hello. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing well, bad, sad. Kalowski. Yeah, they're kind of complicated. It's one of those things that let me open my little drawing thing. Oh gosh, where's my tablet? I'm getting rusty. I haven't streamed in a while. Where's my pen? All right, whatever. We'll just do it with a mouse. It's one of those things where, like, you know, if you've got a gun in your hand, you're like thinking gun thoughts, right? Right, but if you're like moving stuff around in the inventory, this is a bad inventory example, but here we go. Right, you're not really thinking about the inventory. You're thinking about the stuff you put in it, right? You don't really think about the backpack. When you put things in your backpack, it's about the stuff in the backpack rather than the backpack itself. So I think that's one of the reasons that like we tend to underestimate both the value and the difficulty of making an inventory system. And also, like, different games need different inventory systems, right? So if I'm making a first-person game, the requirements are all pretty much the same. You know, basically there's about a half dozen sort of important variables you can move around, and then you're done. But like every inventory system has to be different. So let's see, like Spider-Man PS4, right? Does it even have an inventory system? I think it might not. Whatever. I have not played that game. So yeah, it's complicated. Also, hello, James did something. Don't know what WAP is. Oh, is that just like a bonk on the head? Hello. Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. All right, we're going to work on this tutorial.
Simple.
Oh, and if you're wondering what inventory Tetris is, this is an example. You can see it at all times on my stream. It's sideways because I didn't have enough space, but there we go.
Drag down system in Godot, similar to what you would find in.
Okay, so we're just gonna
create an empty scene. Add a static body 2D as a root node.
right collision shape. Did I already put that in? I do have a collision shape. There we go. Great.
Along with collision shape 2D and a color rect as a children. Then set the color rect size to 128 by 128 and its position to -64 in X and Y. These components create the designated spot for our object to snap into. And we are using static body 2D for this demo. You can choose other body type as well, like rigid body or character bot. Now we only want this to be visible when we start dragging the droppable group.
Okay, so we want to put this in the droppable group. I can do that. So I have structured my project pretty differently here, so I guess we can just make this part of the droppable group. Great.
To this scene. Now we only want this to be visible when we start dragging, and to control that we will use a global script, also known as autoload, to track whether we are currently dragging something or not.
Okay, project settings, globals, autoload, yep. I need to create the script first, don't I? New script. There we go.
So in this script, we will define
And then project settings. We want autoload or global, I guess. Here we go. Add that. Enable, yes. Great. We don't need this stuff.
an is dragging variable to track the drag state. Now let's create a script for our droppable area. In the ready function, we set a visual effect, making the area semi-transparent when an object.
Okay, so I'm gonna ignore this part for now because I'm doing a different thing. You might come back to it.
And the process function ensures the area is only visible when we are dragging something.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna do something different. I want the inventory to always be visible, at least when you're in the inventory screen, and I haven't like integrated it with anything. So, like, if I'm dragging something from over here, I want it to be visible. If I'm dragging this, like, I always want the slots to be visible, so I'm not gonna be doing that.
So moving on, we will now create an object that we can drag. We will use Node2D as a root, which contains a sprite, an area 2D, and a collision shape. The area 2D will help us.
Okay, so wait, what was it? What was the root? Just a node, okay. Sprite 2D, and that needs a collision shape. Let's make that a rectangle. Okay, sure. I think I need to, if I want to do this, I need to rework. Well, Well, let's just follow the tutorials as best I can.
To detect when the mouse interact with the object.
Okay, so sprite. Okay, let's just do the number 1 here first, and then we'll make the collision shape. There we go. Sure, whatever. That's about right. We'll put this up top then, so the sprite's on top, rendering wise, just so it makes it easier to see.
And when we insert any droppable area, so that's why we will attach both mouse insert and body insert signal to our script. In our draggable object script, we will handle everything related to moving and interacting with our objects. We start by defining several variables. First one is draggable, to keep track of whether the object can be dragged. This ensures we don't move it when the player is dragging somewhere else. Then we have is inside droppable.
Okay, I think I'm gonna watch this video once as an overview and then like follow most of it in its own project and then come back and implement it in my existing project. I could also just like start over, but I wanna basically, I could just make it its own scene. That should be fine. Basically, I'm gonna have to start over eventually. Oh, I forgot to explain that part. Thank you. So yeah, basically, I wish I had my drawing pen. That would make things easier here. I don't know where it is at the moment, so we're gonna use the mouse. Basically, I played a lot of Ultima. Ultima 1 specifically, and basically Ultima does a bunch of tricks to make the world seem bigger than it actually is. So there's a world with 4 islands, right? But actually they're just like all mirror images of each other. So you've got, well, let's just simplify it here, right? You got the triangle, you got the sort of house shape. This continent is just the same house shape but upside down, and this one's the same but flipped left and right and whatever, right? And then all the dungeons all the dungeons, they're all random per save. So there's and the game really revolves around the dungeons. Basically, you go to the king. The king's like, go get me the head of whatever, right? They get the head of I don't know, a slime. Or not, I think it just says kill a slime. Right, whatever. And then you go to the dungeon, you do that, you go back to the king, and this king's happy, but oh no, there's another king over here. So you gotta go deeper in the dungeon, kill something, right? That's the basic loop. But between the continents all being basically the same, and the dungeons being random in a way that, like, this is not like procedural generation. I mean, it is procedural generation in that it's generated procedurally, but the algorithm is very, very basic, and so all the dungeons look and feel the same, but they're also like not all the same, and so you have to map them out. You have to be like, okay, there's a ladder here. If you go this way, you'll get to the next ladder, and then on the next floor you take that ladder, and you go, you're right. Like, you have to do all this tedious mapping just to survive. And so between all those things, I'm just like, okay, what if I made a game that was just like, you know, one continent, one dungeon, and, you know, all the shops are actually different, all the towns are actually different, but they all felt samey because it was like, you have, you know, A, B, C, like you have certain number of services, and, you know, this might be named, this is a different name, and it's in a different place in the city, but once you actually go in there, the dialogue's all the same. And so basically my instinct from a game design perspective is to take this sort of big repetitive game and crush it down to a small, polished, like sort of all handcrafted game. And so that's basically what I'm doing here. Now I'm making a couple other changes that are not relevant to that sort of thing. Like it's going to be in 3D because I like working in 3D. It's going to have some other mechanics from other games I like. So I like inventory Tetris. We're going to do that. I wish I had my drawing tablet. Sorry, this is all illegible. It's going to have a bunch of other things. It's going to have a couple other things. And another core design pillar is, and I don't know what a good illustration for this is, but basically the game world is not built for the player. It is built to be a cohesive world that first and a game world second. Oh, thank you, Kalevsky. It's going to be a cohesive world first and a game world second. And so I'm currently planning for the vertical slice. So if you don't know what that is, just imagine a layer cake, right? Now baking a whole cake is hard. But if you take like a small chunk of that cake, right, just a slice, and it's just like, here are all the things you might encounter in the game, and you can do a lot of shortcuts. You can take a lot of shortcuts to make one slice of a cake rather than the whole cake for various reasons. And so in my vertical slice, which is just sort of a little sampler platter of everything the game can have, there's gonna be two main shops, right? There's a coffee shop and there's a clothing shop. Neither of which are immediately obviously useful to the player. So you can get hints and gossip here. And there's a quest here to go get some spider babies, or like spider eggs, because it turns out spiders make good fabric. Right, but there's no equipment shop, there's no weapons shop. The clothing shop has maybe one or two magical items, I don't want it to feel RPG world, I want it to feel world you happen to inhabit. And so what I've been struggling with recently is actually, before the stream, I was watching a bunch of videos and stuff on mining. The French catacombs, by the way, let's just check those out, because they're cool as hell. Because I was looking at these specifically. I was looking at the ground, because if you look at a lot of sort of made for games dungeons, right, it's all grid based, and so the grid is both like this. The tiles are laid such that one tile is one grid unit, which is good for gameplay. But imagine someone going into a deep underground cavern, right? Imagine someone going into the catacombs, individually tiling it like it's a bathroom floor. I just don't buy it. And so if you look at these catacombs, it's basically just crushed earth. It's just dirt. And that's the kind of thing that I want to focus on in this game, is making the game world feel like it was assembled not for the player, but assembled for the people who live in it. And so little details like, oh, the dungeon doesn't have floor tiles, because why would it? Why would someone build a dungeon like that? Thank you, Bad Sad. Have a great rest of your day. That's the basic thrust of the game. And because I'm trying to make it a little bit more not gamey, I want the inventory system to be sort of, I want it to make you vulnerable, right? So you start off with a 3x3 inventory system, and so if you want one health potion, it takes up one slot. If you want a torch, that's 2 slots. Right, not a ton of space. And you can later upgrade it. Like you can make it bigger. But I don't want to have, Baldur's Gate has this, Skyrim has this, basically any RPG you can think of has this, where you just have this incredibly massive backpack that can hold literally everything. And not only do you have a massive backpack, let's just say, Link. Okay, well, in the newer Zelda, he actually sheathes it, but not only do you have this massive backpack, but it doesn't even show up on your character model. So you're carrying, here's you, and you're carrying this much stuff in no backpack at all. This is a very common trick in Baldur's Gate where you collect a bunch of barrels. Fire barrels, they'll explode. You put them in your inventory. You take them back out when you're ready. But like 2 barrels is the size of you. So it doesn't quite make sense. I have not played old school RuneScape, Kalevsky. I probably should. I've played a little bit of like regular RuneScape. I'd sort of dipped in and out of it a couple times. I've not played any old school. But yeah, I like the amount of I do like the amount of sort of regular person activities you can do in that game. It's a world that does feel like you can just like walk around in it, and it doesn't quite hold together. As a world for non-adventurers, like obviously it's an MMO. And so if you look at your given city, right, here's your city, right? Like, this much of it is going to be adventuring stuff, and then this much of it is like sort of decoration. But for an MMO, it does a pretty good job. I would agree with that. But with a single player game, you can get you can get away with a lot more sort of useless in terms of gameplay. You can get away with a lot more useless stuff because you're never going to have to render 20 players almost standing around in this like big booth or whatever. You don't have to worry about like in real life, if you're here and someone else is behind you and they try to go through you, you bump into each other. Not so in most MMOs, that sort of thing. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff in a single player game. You can just be like, yeah, this world is not built for you. It's built for the people who already live here. Deal with it. And I think that's very underexplored space in sort of like RPG design. Anyway, we are here to... But yeah, there's also, like, I think in the main town, like, it's very much, like, theme parky, right? So the player is supposed to go here, mine some ore, go here, smelt some ore, and then, like, craft it and whatever. And so it's very much like, this is for the player and no one else. Because it doesn't really make sense for, your random citizen of the town to be doing this. But it is how you would make a sword in real life, or an iron pot, or whatever else. Yeah, that's a good insight. I should keep that in mind. Anyway, we're gonna follow this tutorial and see if I can glean anything from it. So actually, I'm gonna watch it once first, give my thoughts, watch it again.
Which will help us to know if the object is currently inside the droppable area. This body reference variable is to hold a reference of the droppable area when the object enters it. Now, first thing first, as soon as our mouse enters inside our object, we will make sure if we are not dragging anything else, then we set the draggable to true, and also for some feedback effect, I'm scaling the sprite just a little bit. Similarly, when our mouse leaves the object, we will reset the draggable to false and bring scaling back to normal. And
actually, before I do that, what I would probably do is have the feel like there's a more elegant way to do this, because these are hard-coded values in the middle of a random function. You could probably put those up here. So just say, whatever the dragging scale, while dragging scale, whatever you want to call it, you can put that up here. Just put that variable twice. And then scale this, I don't think this actually needs to change. Vector 1, 1 is pretty obvious what that is. It's, 100% of what it usually is. But I usually like to, when I see something like this, factor it out. Just for simplicity, just make it easier to change.
We will reset the draggable to false and bring scaling back to normal. And now it's looking pretty good. After that, we will work on the body intert function, which will be triggered when any droppable area enters the object. So after confirming the intert body is a droppable area, we set the isDroppable to true. Then we change the color of that body to Rebecca purple with opacity 1. And finally, we will store this body in a body reference variable.
Oh, by the way, I looked up Rebecca Purple. Rebecca Purple is named after a dead kid. One of the programmers who was working on a sort of a web system, had a kid who died of, I think, some flavor of cancer, and so Rebecca Purple remembers that kid, remembers Rebecca. I think it's let me just look it up. Yeah, it's hashtag 663399, which is nice and easy to remember. But I just think that's kind of interesting.
Variable that we created. Similarly, when the body has exited, we will reset the isDroppable to false and reset the color to medium purple again with opacity 0.7. So with these two functions, our droppable area changes color when we are inside it. And with that done, the only thing left is to write the process function to handle the drag.
Okay, so before we go, this function I'm going to have to rewrite because my system works differently. I'm probably going to need some sort of... Can I just average the colors? So let's see. Item slot. So indicator, that is... I'm just going to average the colors. 2 decimal. Oh, wait, no. Can I just use calculator? Standard programmer. Okay. Plus divided by 2. Okay, there we go. Let's take that color, store that somewhere. Yeah, let's just add a child node. Where are you? Color rect. Okay, add child node, color rect. What? That didn't work. That didn't work at all. Okay, whatever. We'll keep that. We'll keep that for now. It is very easy to see what's going on.
With that done, the only thing left is to write the process function to handle the drag. So inside it, we first check if draggable is true because we don't want to do unnecessary calculation. After that, we look for when user has pressed the left mouse button. Then we can simply set the object position to our mouse position. But when you do that, you will see I'm able to drag the object, but while grabbing it, it is snapped to the cursor. But I want the object to maintain its position relative to cursor. So that's why we have to create one more variable offset, and in the is action just pressed, we can store the offset by subtracting our position from mouse position. Also, this is where we set the is draggable to true, which we have created in the autoload script. Now after getting the offset, we can simply subtract it from our mouse position, and after doing that, you will notice it maintains its position and I can now move it easily. Then comes the final part when we release the mouse button. Now if we release the mouse button outside the area, the object should return to its original position. Whereas if we release it inside the droppable area, I want the object to snap to it. So in the is action just released, we first set the is dragging to false. Then for moving the object, I will create a twin. And then if we are inside the droppable area, I want to set the object's position equal to droppable area.
Oh, yeah. This is another thing I'm going to change when I do this tutorial. You can see this, it's a little faint, but you can see there's a line here. So in Godot, here, let's just find a script. Right. Let's just say, var equals 7, right? Does it let you make variables that long? But we can always just... Right, and so that's a perfectly valid line of code, even though Godot is white space. What do you call it? Basically, in some programming languages, everything is done with curly braces. So if something's inside a curly brace, this is function A. You start a new one. This is function B, and so on. But Godot, it cares about white space. So you have function A, you have an indent, you have another indent for other stuff. Right, it's all done by white space. But sometimes you have a line that's so long that it goes off the edge. And so what you do is you just add an escape character and say, hey, I know you're white space based, but just keep going on the other line rather than going off the screen. And that's very useful. So for this really long line that I'm not going to use, actually, does this work? It does. It totally does. That's so cursed. You could... Why does it let you make variables that long? Okay. Got that. All right. Anyway, what was it doing?
So here we want to animate ourselves. We want to change this position property. The final position is going to be the position of the droppable area. And lastly, we want it to complete the animation in 0.2 seconds. I will also set the easing with ease out. Now if we release the mouse button outside the droppable area, we want to return back. And for that, we need to store our initial position. So in order to do that, I will create an initial position variable. And when we are pressing the mouse button...
The ugliest code makes the prettiest games. It really depends, but what was it? Okay, well, have a lovely rest of your... I don't know what time zone you're in. Well, sleep well. Thanks for stopping by. So, none of the code in this file is particularly offensive. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. None of the code in this file is particularly offensive. What is offensive is just the sheer volume of it. Like, this is all one big file, which people tend to not agree with. People tend to think you should break it up. However, you know, this is Celeste. Everyone likes Celeste, so yeah. I don't think there's a strong correlation between bad code and good games, but every game has some sort of hack somewhere like that.
Button, we will store that current position. And now in the else part, everything is going to be similar as above. Here we just need to replace the body position with our initial position. And that's it. To use this, create an empty scene, add draggable object and droppable areas, and your game is ready to go. So there you have it. You can use this system as a foundation for more complex game mechanics such as an inventory system or interactive puzzles.
Okay, so
First,
I'm just going to follow this tutorial verbatim in this empty scene. So we're going to create a static body 3D, right? Or static body 2D. Collision shape 2D with a square shape. There we go. I'm going to add a color rect. And let's make that this hideous green color from earlier. Great.
create an empty scene, add a static body 2D as a root node along with collision shape 2D and a color rect as children. Then set the color rect size to 128 by 128.
He did not explain that. The reason we're doing that is that he's using the Godot logo. Oh, I need a sprite 2D. He's using the Godot logo, which we are just going to texture. How do I transform visibility? Yeah, modulate. Let's put that at like half opacity so we can see what we're doing. And so yeah, if we set this wait, which one are we supposed to include? Yeah, so if we set that to 128 by 128, oh wait, no. Heck. Scale 4. Okay, here we go. 128 by 128. That's way too big. Scale, oh, scales, okay, scale 1. That's perfect. Let's just set the color rect to the same layout. And you want an offset by what, 64? Minus 64? By minus 64 on the Y, which puts it up. There we go.
A color rect as a children. Then set the color rect size to 128 by 128 and its position to -64 in X and Y. These components create the designated spot for our object to snap into. And we are using static body 2D for this demo. You can choose other body type as well, like rigid body or character body. but it is important to use any physics body. Otherwise, the draggable object will not be able to detect it. Also, make sure to assign the droppable group to this scene. Now, we only want this to be visible when we start dragging, and to control that, we will use a global script also known as auto.
Okay, so add this to the droppable group. Wait, the whole thing, okay. Okay, and then we see, we've already got the project. We've already got the auto load. Yep, we already got that. Global.gd. Let's just open that. Var is dragging is false.
To track whether we are currently dragging something or not. So in this script, we will define an isDragging variable to track the drag state. Now let's create a script for our droppable area. In the ready function, we set a visual effect, making the area
right.
We will define an isDragging variable to track the drag state. Now let's create a script for our droppable area.
Okay, add script.
In the ready function,
okay, extend set of zag body 2D.
we set a visual effect.
Don't need to do that because my background is not purple.
Making the area semi-transparent when an object is not inside it, and the process function ensures the area is
Okay, I'm not doing either of those things because I want my thing to be visible all the time, and I don't want to make it disappear.
only visible when we are dragging something. So moving on, we will now create an object that we can drag. We will use Node2D as a root, which contains a sprite.
This is another new scene. Okay, yeah. So change type. Wait, no, okay, no, that is right. Okay. Add child node sprite 2D. And that's gonna have the Godot logo. Boom. Yep. And then add child node area 2D, and it's gonna have a collision shape. And we're gonna make that a 128 by 128 rectangle. Great.
Area 2D and a collision shape. The area 2D will help us to detect when the mouse interacts with the object and when we entered any droppable area. So that's why we will attach both mouse entered and body entered signal to our script.
Okay, no, wait, signals.
In our draggable,
Wait, how does this, okay. Oh, that just needs a script, I see, okay. Alright, object. Okay, now, body entered, connect, and mouse entered. Oh, body exited, okay. Bam, okay, beautiful.
object script, we will handle everything related to moving and interacting with our object. We start by defining several.
Okay, so var draggable false var is inside false var body ref. Great.
Variables. First one is draggable to keep track of whether the object can be dragged. This ensures we don't move it when the player is dragging somewhere else. Then we have is inside droppable, which will help us to know if the object is currently inside the droppable area. This body reference variable is to hold a reference of the droppable area when the object enters it. Now first thing first, as soon as our mouse enters inside our object, we will make sure.
Okay, func on area 2D mouse entered. Var, let's just call it large item there we go.
Or if we are not dragging anything else, then we set the draggable to true, and also for some feedback effect, I'm scaling the sprite just a little bit. Similarly, whenever
And if I run that, oh no, oh, okay, it's just, yeah, no TD. Okay, so that code does work. It's kind of subtle, but you can see it here. If I press F6 to run the current scene, then if I put my mouse here, it permanently gets bigger. Great. So now we just need to on area mouse exited. One. There we go. Now, what this should do, no, I keep forgetting like this. Okay, what this should do, if I put my mouse in, it gets a little bigger. If I, yeah, boop, 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 boop. And probably there's some sort of animation I should be doing here, but that's a polish step, so we'll do that later.
a mouse leaves the object, we will reset the draggable to false and bring scaling back to normal. And now it's looking pretty good. After that, we will work on the body insert function, which
I'm not sure if this actually does anything, but we'll work on it. Okay. Oh, because globals dot is dragging, right? Because you can only be dragging one thing at once. So, you know, if my mouse is dragging thing A, that's a mouse, but don't worry about it. Then it can't be dragging thing B, right? So that makes sense. But then this thing has to be keeping track of if it's being dragged or not as well.
will be triggered when any droppable area enters the object. So after confirming the entered body is a droppable area, we set the is droppable to true. Then we change the color of that body to Rebecca purple with opacity 1. And finally, we will store this body in a body reference variable that we created. Similarly, when the body has exited, we will reset the is droppable to false and reset the color to medium purple again with opacity 0.7. So with these two functions, our droppable area changes color when we are inside it. And with that done, the only thing left is...
I just realized, what we're doing here is basically a precursor to a finite state machine. So what a finite state machine is you've got a bunch of different states that a thing can be in, right? And it can transition between them in some fashion, but also there's going to be some sort of transition, right? So if I'm if I'm walking and I want to become running, you need some sort of, you need a cleanup function to make sure that I'm not like, there's a bunch of weird stuff that can happen when you stop one animation and start another, and so that's sort of thing. Maybe there's some things that can only be done while walking and not while running. So maybe you've got, I can carry a box while I'm walking, but if I run, then I drop the box because it's too heavy or something, right? All that stuff goes in this transition function. And now I'm running, but let's say if I get tired running, and I want to start walking again, you have to run a transition function again, to clean up animations, that sort of thing. And then if you're still, you probably have an idle animation, right? And so you need to turn that off, turn the walking animation on, that sort of thing. But what we've basically got here though is the same. So if the mouse is in the thing, then the thing gets a little bigger, and then this is a tangent. I'm already tired of talking about this, so we're gonna move on. But I don't know. I think it's cool that this is basically a finite state machine.
To write the process function to handle the drag. So inside it, we first check if draggable is true because we don't want to do unnecessary calculation. After that, we look for...
Also, the way this works is really clever, where it's like the if draggable, and then you basically add stuff as needed. This is how most tutorials should work, where you basically make a little tiny version of the thing, and then say, "Hey, it works." And then you build on top of that. You say, okay, well, we've got this little thing. Let's give it a little hat, right? You get a little hat. And maybe it wants a sword. Maybe it wants some legs. I don't know. You got a little creature. But you need to make sure that your little creature can move around and jump before you give it a little hat, And a lot of tutorials are just like, okay, well, here's your sprite. It already has the hat, and we're just gonna move it around and do the head animation. And it's just like, okay, but like, I feel like I was missing a step here. How do I know it works? It's like it's not this what do you call it? You're not building out from a small thing. You're just building a thing. What was the meme? Yeah, there we go. They say it's a mystery how the pyramids were built, but I reckon they started at the bottom and worked their way up. Let's face it, this looks a lot more difficult. Yeah, so that's basically that's basically my thoughts on that. Okay, so I have not written any of this code yet. We're just going to watch this.
The left mouse button.
I do wish this section had been broken up a little bit more, because this is just like the most of the video for this one section.
Then we can simply set the object position to our mouse position. But when you do that, you will see I'm able to drag the object, but while grabbing it, it is snapped to the cursor. But I want the object to maintain its position relative to cursor. So that's why we have to create one more variable, offset, and in the is action just pressed, we can store the offset by subtracting our position from mouse position. Also, this is where we set the is draggable to true, which we have created in the autoload script. Now after getting the offset, we can simply subtract it from our mouse position, and after doing that, you will notice it maintains its position and I can now move it easily. Then comes the final.
I also have to experiment with whether or not I want the easing to happen. So let's. I need some reference footage. Sorry, whoop, 3. What? Where's I?
In this video, we're going to give you an insane or if there's no camp supplies food. We're picking up a talk to Auntie at the mouse. Mouse and keyboard, that's normally how I play a PC game. Then we're going to use a
just give me some footage of dragging something.
Have to go back to the other merchant to get the merchant's inventory. Is going to cost you absolutely nothing. Gate 3 is not the hardest game, but it's also an Xbox controller.
Let me just buy something to give the gold if I buy like the fear spell. Now I've got 600. Let me just buy something.
Wait, so. Wait. Okay, I'm trying to frame by frame here.
To give the gold if I buy like
Wait, come on, frame by frame. It's period and comma. Where's comma? So period, comma. Right, okay. Right, so there's an animation. Okay, so it, okay, wait, actually I'm going backwards, aren't I? Okay. Okay, so it does lag behind. But if I played at full speed, you basically don't even see it. Okay, interesting. But in the tutorial I'm doing
Final part when we release the mouse button. Now if we release the
that lagging behind is.
so in the is action, the object should return to its original position.
Okay, where is it?
And now in the else part, everything is going to be similar as above. Here we just need to replace the body position, and that's it. To use this, create an empty scene. You can use this system as a foundation.
Yeah, so the lagging behind is much more visible. Because in this, right, if I frame by frame it, then you can see it's obviously it's lagging behind. And we can do that backwards, right? Backwards and forwards. But look how fast it's moving. This is a game at 60 FPS, so that's, it's moving, what, 15% of the screen per frame? Anyway, we'll just do what this tutorial says for now.
Complex game mechanics such as an inventory system or interactive puzzles. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, so after confirming the entered body is a droppable area, we set the,
Okay, so I got to,
if we are not dragging anything else, then we set the draggable to true, and also for some feedback effect, I'm scaling the sprite just a little bit. Similarly, when our mouse leaves the object, we will reset
okay, did
the
that.
draggable to false and bring scaling back to normal. And now it's looking pretty good. After that, we will work on the body indert function, which will be
Okay, if body dot is in group. Okay, so if dot is in group droppable colon inside drop true and then we got the color thing, the color modulate. Okay. Great. What did I do?
be triggered when any droppable area enters the object. So after confirming the entered body is a droppable area, we set the is droppable to true. Then we change the color of that body to Rebecca purple with opacity 1. And finally, we will store this body in a body reference variable that we created. Similarly, when the body has
Body is in group for droppable. Okay. Hopefully I spelled that right. Come on. Is inside drop. Wait, draggable or droppable? Oh, he said droppable. Okay, so two P's. False.
exited, we will reset the is droppable
Okay, and then we don't actually forget the body. Huh, okay. Interesting.
to false and reset the color to medium purple again with opacity 0.7. So with these two functions, our droppable area changes color when we are inside it. And with that done, the only thing left is to write the process function.
Yeah, I would cut this part. Wait, actually, if I I feel like I missed a step because if I F6 this function, nothing happens, right? This one, yeah, I can make it bigger and smaller, but it doesn't follow my mouse, so I need to have this function here, maybe? Oh, wait.
To handle the drag. So
Okay, I think I need to start over. Let's just do a new project for no. Yeah, let's just do a new project for now. Save and close. Create. Okay.
Get started. First, create an empty scene. Add a static body 2D as a root node along with collision shape 2D and a color rect as a children. Then set the color rect size to 128 by 128.
Okay. Okay, so boom.
So without wasting any more time, let's get started. First, create
Right, so we need a static body 3D or static body 2D, and that needs a collision shape and a color rect. And let's just move it. Let's just move that to center so it's easier to see. And we need a color rect. And wait, why is this offset? Or whatever. Just put that there. Transform 128 by 128. Let's offset 64. There we go. So those two are directly on top of each other and the same size and shape. Great.
an empty scene. Add a static body 2D as a root node along with collision shape 2D and a color rect as a children. Then set the color rect size to 128 by 128 and its position to -64 in X and Y. These components create the designated spot for our object to snap into. And we are using static body 2D for this demo. You can choose other body type as well, like rigid body or character body, but it is important to use any physics body. Otherwise, the draggable object will not be able to detect it. Also, make sure to assign the droppable group to this scene. Now we only want
Okay. Node groups droppable. Great. Oh, oops. Great.
want this to be visible when we start dragging. And to control that, we will use a global script also known as autoload.
Okay, project settings, globals. Okay, I need to add a script. Global project settings, globals. Boom. Add. There we go.
To track whether we are currently dragging something or not. So in this script, we will define an isDragging variable to track the drag state. Now let's create a script for our droppable area. In the ready
Okay, so we actually haven't attached a script to anything. This thing needs a script.
function, reset a visual effect, making the area semi.
Okay, so I'm actually just gonna do what it says. Modulate equals color medium purple, comma 0.7. There we go.
Semi-transparent when an object is not inside it, and the process for
Okay, so if okay, does that have to be a capital? Wait, save all scenes. Actually, let's just I prefer this.
ensure the area is only visible when we are dragging something. So moving on, we will now create an object that we can drag.
Okay, so node 2D, child node sprite, child node collision shape. Okay, is that an area? No, it's an area. Add child node collision shape. And make that a rectangle that's 128 by 128. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Gotta use the bathroom. Alright, back to game design. Oh, more like just following a tutorial. I'm not doing a lot of design right now, but boop, 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 boop.
We will use Node 2D as a root, which contains a sprite, an area 2D, and a collision shape. The area 2D will help us to detect when the mouse interacts with the object and when we insert any droppable area. So that's why we will attach both mouse insert and body insert signal to our script. In our
Okay, so he says both, but there's actually 4 things he's attaching, so that's a minor issue.
draggable
Okay, so area 2D node. Well, node signals. Okay, so we need body entered. Connect Right, new script. Yep, there we go. Body entered, or actually, well, mouse entered. Connect. Mouse exited. Connect. Body entered. Connect. Body exited. Connect. And that should be the same order as what he's doing.
Object script, we will handle everything related
Yep.
to moving and interacting with our objects. We'll start by defining several variables. First one is draggable, to keep track of whether the object can be dragged. This ensures we don't move it when the player is dragging somewhere else. Then we have is inside droppable, which will help us to know if the object is currently inside the droppable area. This body reference variable is to hold a reference of the droppable area when the object enters it. Now first thing first, as soon as our mouse enters inside our
Guys, never ready function. We can get rid of that. If not, global dot is dragging. I need to save this. Scene, save all scenes. There we go. Everybody, that's the there we go. Now this should work.
object.
Maybe I've changed my mind. Maybe vector 2. Maybe this is fine. Vector. It's certainly less wordy than what I was doing earlier. I was earlier thinking about should I like name these or should I just like let them be numbers? Because if they're numbers, it's much easier to figure out what this is actually doing. But because the scales, like it's 2D, so it's gonna be X and then Y. Like this is pretty readable even without the numbers, I think, actually. So I'm changing my mind on that.
We will make sure if we are not dragging anything else, then we set the draggable to true, and also for some feedback effect, I'm scaling the sprite just a little bit. Similarly, when our mouse leaves the object, we will reset the draggable to false and bring.
Okay, right. So we basically just and just 1 1. Right. All right.
Scaling back to normal, and now it's looking pretty good. After that, we will work on.
Okay, so let me just double check that works in my version. Yep, great.
The insert function, which will be triggered when any droppable area enters the object.
Is in group did I use 1 word or 2 or 1 P or 2? Project settings, groups. Huh. One word, 1p, okay. Is inside droppable equals true. Body ref. Great.
So after confirming the entered body is a droppable area, we set the is droppable to true. Then we change the color of that body to Rebecca purple with opacity 1. And finally, we will store this body in a body reference variable that we created. Similarly, when the body has exit.
Okay, same here. Medium purple, there we go.
We will reset the is droppable to false and reset the color to medium purple again with opacity 0.7. So with these two functions, our droppable area changes color when we are inside it. And with that done, the only thing left is to write the process function to handle the drag. So inside it, we first check if draggable is true because
Okay. So this is all inside the process function here. So let's try type this code in. If draggable, if input dot just pressed click get global mouse position. Okay, now we need project settings, input map. Okay. Click. Mouse buttons, left mouse button, okay.
we don't want to do unnecessary.
Okay, there we go. Else if okay, global with a capital G. Okay, and then we got some tweening. This is some automatic animation. Okay. This code I feel like I should understand more. Var tween was get tree create tween. Oh.
Calculation. After that, we look for when user has pressed.
Okay, so get tree create tween. Okay, var tween, var Great tween, great. If is drop a ball, tween dot tween property self position body ref dot position point two close friends dot set ease out. Okay. Global position. Initial position. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Var. Initial. If, okay, so if. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kisper. Okay, what am I doing?
The left mouse button. Then we can simply set the object position to our mouse position. But when you do that, you will see I'm able to drag the object, but while grabbing it,
Okay, what happens when I run this code? Odd things.
it is snapped to the cursor. But I want the object to maintain its position relative to cursor. So that's why we have to create one more variable, offset, and in the is action just
Wait, why are you doing that twice? Is action just press click? Okay. Offset equals minus okay, var offset vector 2.
pressed, we can store the offset by subtracting our position from mouse position. Also, this is where we set the is draggable to true, which we have created in the autoload script. Now after getting the offset, we can simply subtract
But these, okay. Okay, if action just pressed versus is action pressed. Gotcha. Okay, so... Okay, so it's if input dot use action pressed, click, colon, and now what happens when we run the script? This actually feels pretty good. Yeah. Okay. I think I can actually use most of these settings for my game. I think this actually feels pretty good. Okay. So, what do I need to adapt here? So, I think all of this code, I don't need. Yeah, nice, a fluid motion, yeah. I feel like I want it to not be just if it's held. Like I actually, the whole like you have to hold your mouse down to hold the thing is kind of annoying me, especially on a trackpad, because it's this really awkward motion where you have to have like one finger on the button and then the other finger. It's like, you know, where do you even put your hand? I can't draw hands right now, but you get it. It's just like this really right. I don't love it on the mouse. I don't love it on a mouse either. So I think I'm just going to. What happens if I get rid of this code? So here we go. So if is action just pressed, click. Global mouse position. Get process. There we go. Okay, so I think I'm just like I'm gonna need to add new variable, which is following mouse. False. Go. Just if following mouse tab that in, global dot is dragging is true, following mouse equals true, following, and that means that the game, oh god, oh it's still, why is that still, it's still the same behavior. Okay, so wait, no, because it's if action released, right? Then how do you? Yeah. Right. So you can, yeah, it's the same behavior. It pulls. Now I gotta figure out what I want it to actually do. So right now it's just like if the left mouse button is held. If that's held, then the item moves. If it's not held, it doesn't move, right? What I want is a system where you pick something up, right? You pick it up, it moves. You pick it up and it starts following your mouse. And then you have to click again to, okay, so okay, so if you're following the mouse, do that. Okay, I need to restructure this code. So if is action just press click and not following mouse. If is action didn't just press click, is if it is action just pressed click. Yeah. That's basically what I'm doing. And so that might do something. Right, so we pick it up. Yeah, so now it follows our mouse, and you can see, right, I'm not holding any buttons, and it's still following the mouse. Now if I just click again, returns to normal. Beautiful. So that's exactly what I want with very little effort. So that's good. And also I need to double check. Yeah, so it also works. So you need to click once. You need to click once to start dragging, but then after that, it doesn't care whether or not you're holding the mouse button. All you have to do is click again, and it returns to its home. So that's pretty useful.
it from our mouse position.
Okay, so we've already done all this.
After doing that, you will notice it maintains its
All right, we're doing the offset thing, right? Wait, actually, am I doing the offset thing? What if I... Okay, let's go back to the Baldur's Gate footage. I think it does snap to the middle. I think it actually does. So I think we can keep that because the whole offset thing. I don't know. We'll keep it in our back pocket, but I think that for my tastes, I actually like that it snaps to the middle of the middle. It's kind of like if you've got something heavy. This is not a heavy thing, but if you've got something heavy, often you will like pick it up off the ground and then like toss it in the air and adjust your position so it's more comfortable to hold. I could just do a, you put it right, and you can move it. I think that's kind of fun. It might even be interesting to have multiple animations depending on the in-game weight of the object. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to do that today. Probably not going to do it for this version of the game, right? Because my goal here is not to make the most beautiful, shiniest thing ever, right? I'm not trying to make the number one thing. Don't care about that. I just want something that is, finished, like you can put in a box and say, hey, look, this is a game. Look at that. It's a video game. So that's, I'm prototyping here. I'm not trying to make the finished product. But, it could be interesting to have, like, lighter object, you can just, like, and heavier object, you're like, and you can, like, physically feel it in the UI. Because, let's go back to Baldur's Gate. Actually, I should just fire up the game. One sec, we're taking a quick detour. Oh, thank you. And it wouldn't even be hard, because all you have to do is have some formula that like changes, I don't know what exactly, but just based on the weight, it's like one line of code. Yeah, something like that. I wonder if there's a way to make it even like physically harder to move just with your mouse. Like, I guess you could call it a dead zone. Okay. Come on, Baldur's Gate. Okay, so this game is modded, so I am playing as a Mind Flayer. This is not an option available in the original game, so if it looks weird, that's why. But that's not really what this is about. Yep. Okay, come on. I'm just trying to compare light and heavy objects to make sure they don't like move differently, and also to sort of have an idea of. Yeah, so here's my character. You're not supposed to be able to play as a Mind Flayer in the original game, but someone modded it. Thank you, Larian, for adding modding support. Alright, so let's loot this corpse. Topaz, take all. There we go. Also, the voice sounds weird for this. I should probably choose a different voice for Mind Flayer, but that's fine. See if I can find something heavy to pick up. I know there's got to be something heavy somewhere. Okay, we're gonna make Lizelle. I know how to play a game. I don't have a ton of Steam hours, but I have played this game a lot. Okay, Lizelle. Skip this. Okay, yep. Wait, no, I want to loot this guy's corpse. Okay, there we go. I'll attack this guy. I've not heard of Nightingale. What are your thoughts on it? Okay, I'm looking for like a barrel or something. Okay, actually that's, yeah. There we go. Okay. Okay, we can restore. Why not? Okay, let's see how this this climb animation looks so janky. Yeah, tell me about Nightingale. I'm curious. Please have a barrel or something around here. There we go. A light tank. Pick up. There we go. Okay, so now we should have something sufficiently heavy. Not a light tank. You are 25 kilos. Scroll of Revivify is 0.2, so Yep, I can move that as fast as I want, no problem. Not a light tank. Well, yeah, same thing. So this weighs what, like 1,000 times more than this, and they behave the same in game. I'll have to check it out. I know nothing about the game. And let's just save the game. Quit. Yep. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that would be a cool feature to have different items move in the inventory in a different way, depending on their weight. Okay, so actually, do I need the rest of the tutorial? What is that even? Okay, I'm just gonna look up Nightingale real quick. Okay. So it's sort of a horror game, I guess? Okay, well, it's just add to my Steam wishlist, I guess. Save 40%. Oh, most recent reviews mixed. What's going on here? What did they update something stupid? I'll never get my money back for this game. Pros, okay, terrible tutorial, confusing story. Wow, okay, so this person really doesn't like the UI. Valet? Do you mean Victorian? Valedictorian is someone who's like really good at academics. But yeah, let's I'm gonna assume that it's Victorian. Okay, so people are not happy right now with this game, but we might check it out later. It looks like they made a recent change that was not popular, probably trying to shoehorn multiplayer into the ostensibly single player game. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna try and trash a game you just recommended. That would be a little mean. So yeah, I think okay, so that's basically the behavior I want. Oh yeah, the zones, like this sort of, you can drag it between zones.
Position, and I can now move it easily. Then comes the final part when we release the mouse button. Now if we release the mouse button outside the area, the object should return to its original position. Whereas if we release it inside the droppable area, I want the object to snap to it. So in the is action just released, we first set the is dragging to false. Then for moving the object, I will create a twin. And then if we are inside the droppable area, I want to set the object's position equal to going to be the position of the droppable in 2 seconds. The droppable area an initial position variable, and when we are pressing the mouse button, we will store that.
Okay, so we've already done our version of all this stuff.
Create an empty scene, add draggable object and droppable area.
Believe that could and will be fixed. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It sounds kind of interesting. I think my girlfriend would probably enjoy it more than I would. My first impressions were like this art style. I'm not the biggest fan. It just looks a little. I don't know. It's like almost realistic, but like a little too cartoony-ish. I don't know. It's something I'd probably get over if I played it. Um, I assume a realm is like a world, so you can go to like you can go to different worlds, and then like if you beat world A, you go to world B, something like that. Anyway, let's make these zones.
And your game is ready to go. So there you have it.
Right? Does it just work? How does okay? So okay, so save branch of scene. Okay, so this is one of those like I don't understand what you're talking about, and that's not a bad thing. It's just once you've learned something, it's very difficult to put your shoes in yourself in the shoes of someone who does not yet know the thing, and so you're giving me all these like advanced like, oh, if you do this thing to this card, it'll cause this thing to happen. And I'm more on the high level, like, you know, what does it feel like to play? But yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure the cards. I will have to play the game. Reviews are an important tool, and generally the reviews on Steam are very trustworthy compared to other platforms. But you know, at a certain point, you do have to form your own opinion. Okay. Anyway, what was I doing? How does it just?
And that's it. To use this, create an empty scene, add draggable object and droppable areas, and your game is ready to.
Okay, empty scene. Okay, so they're all saved as objects. Save branch of scene. Can't save root node. Oh, because it's already a scene. Okay. Oh, wait, that's invisible. Wait, it should be visible. What's going on here? What? Inspector color. If I run, oh, I see. Okay, this feels. Oh, wait, it's drawing it. It's drawing it. That should not be happening. Okay, so first we need to take this process priority -1. No, -1. So that should. Oh wait, no. I wanna project settings, general config. Wait, no, because I want item slot. It defaults to. Okay, I am missing something here. Anyway, so that's not what I want. How do I change the default scene? Scene. Project settings. run. Okay, there we go. Let's just, we want to be on main. We're on main. There we go. Okay, wait, so, oh, okay, so actually this doesn't, so, node 2D, okay, so this item slot, so color rect, process, priority -1, and now, nope, it's still, it's still being overdrawn. Wait, is it literally just that in main? Okay, now it works. And then it's not visible immediately for some reason. What happens if I get rid of this? Item slot, color rect. Okay, it's got a color. If global dot is dragging. Oh, I'll just get rid of all of this. Actually, I can just get rid of this whole everything. I don't care about either of these. Yep, there we go. So that's the basic functionality I wanted. Now, let's see if I can integrate it with my existing project. Okay, so let me remind myself how this all works. So the item slot has the, okay, actually I think I need to start over. I think I do need to start over because the item slot has the sprite 2D, wait. The item slot, so, I think I do want to just like start a new project. Let's call it UI3. And sort of mix and match. So now I need to model the functionality I want before I can actually code it. So I want there to be item slots, and I want them to either be dark or light, depending. So if they're light, they're empty. Otherwise, they're full. Hello.
You streaming?
Mm-hmm. If they're dark, they're full. And then I want a draggable object that I can move between them. So actually a lot of this is just like not very... Oh, right, and the grid. I want a grid of... So I think I do need to build a grid. Right, so... Right, because we didn't... That was not covered by... Right, so you can see how there's a grid here. Which is something that the tutorial I was just watching didn't cover. So first things first. Okay, so let's start with a control node. Add child node, grid container. Great. Columns 3. And let's just add child node color rect. All right, control ARST. Wait, no, I need to change the settings on this one first. Okay, layout. Custom minimum, let's do it 24 by 24 for no particular reason. Great. Actually, let's just make another one. Make this one black. Great. Now, grid container. Layout, one change. Transform, size, position. Okay, wait, how do I change the spacing? Okay. So it's theme overrides, constraints, constants. 0, 0, 0. Great. Now okay, get rid of 10. There we go. So that's correct for my purposes here. Now I just need to change this. So this color. Okay, so what tutorial item slot was a static body 2D with a color rect child. So now I need to make a static body 2D with a color rect child. Great. And add child node. Collision shape. Color rect. Let's see. White is fine. Rectangle shape. Let's just make them the same. Great. So that's 40 by 40. And then we'll have, well, actually, no, I want this to be, let's call it 135 by 135. There we go. Same for the color rect. Great. Wait. Position 0, 0, position. Okay, so 64. 65. 70, 67, 68. Oh, because it's alright. It needs to be an even number, so let's do 134. Okay, now we can just move that manually, and here we go. So now rename that to item slot. Great. Scene. Save scene. Now replace this color rect with an item slot. Oh, heck. Actually, we can just replace it with a bunch of color slots. Okay, there we go. Now grid container settings. Oh, I need to change in color rect. Oh, yeah, that's totally fine. If you want to lurk, if you want to chat, they're both fine. That's kind of why I stream. Also, I don't think I'd get nearly as much done if I wasn't streaming. So yeah, sort of a co-working type beat. No worries at all. How do I do minimum size again? Custom minimum, okay. Save scene. Grid. So wait, why are you not? Transform, size, position. What if I just make it big enough? Clip contents, inherited columns. It just worked last time. Okay, shift. Okay, so grid container, columns, layout, H separation, V separation, scale, rotation, size. Okay, so these are all telling the thing their minimum size. Requirements, grid. Okay, let's see if I had another one. Nope, nothing. Grid container. Layout mod. but I can't change this one. I can't make it smaller than... Is there anything weird about my item slot? Okay, 34 by 34. Got the static body TD, got this color rect. My direction, my position. Okay, so what if I... user interface. But Control C. Control V. I kind of... Oh, it's just gonna give me a scene. Make local. And now layout, inherit uncontrolled. If I make that a direct child. Layout mode, position. Let's try, let's see, save that scene as item slot 2. Take that, put that in here. Get rid of these. Another one there. Nothing. Okay, we are going to look into this. Building the inventory UI. Okay. I don't remember what of this I did and what of this I ignored. It's still adjusting its size to make everything fit. Is it something I'm doing in the at tool? Grid container doesn't even have a script on it. Layout. Okay. Wait, is the custom minimum? No, it's different. No, it's the same. Layout mod. anchors preset. Okay, wait, that's okay. That doesn't seem to work. That doesn't seem to matter. Layout mode. The size is different, but if I resize this, yep. So that can be resized. Scale 1:1. Theme overrides. Image separation, deseparation. Okay, so it's got to be. Okay, and this is the one I'm currently using, so control. Okay. So I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna duplicate this, new 2D, try to. Okay, try to, there we go. Let's just kill things. Kill, 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 kill. Okay, there we go. Save scene. There we go. Now get rid of all these. Try to. Oh, that's it. What? Oh, heck. Okay, whatever. I did what okay, so that is item slot. Okay. So that's okay. So whatever's left in here will custom minimum, custom size. This has a custom minimum and a custom size. Okay. Layout direction inherited. Layout. Position. Slot. Okay, so why are you like this? Building. Project settings. Is there anything different? I can't tell. Oh, wait, item slot. Oh, okay. I think I figured it out. Control layout, do changes, custom minimum. What's your 134? 34. Boom. And then scene, save scene, grid, get rid of view, Shift D this, and now it works. Yay, now it works. Why is there a... Why are some... Okay, no, it's just a graphical issue. Gotcha. Okay. So we've got that part working. Ugh. So now, color rect. I think I lost the there we go. Okay, so we're good. I'm gonna use the bathroom just 1 sec. All right, let's see. So inventory background. Okay, so empty hair. Let's copy that color. Okay, so and then, oh, thank you. No, wait, I need another color rec as a child. So 134. So let's just do this. So 132 by 132. And transform. Let's just move this over by 1. Okay, there we go. Now this color rect is going to be this color. There we go. Okay, we can see that there's, okay, that outline needs to be bigger, which means this needs to be smaller. 30, 30. What? $130. Why is this not working? Can I make it 150? Okay, can I make it 120? No, minimum is 132. Is that because it's the child of a, okay. But it can be 130, it can be 132. Okay, let's see. 130. Okay, 130. Yeah, so that line is, it's a little better. make it like 120. What do I just make it the child of control? So that's the one. That looks about right. Okay, we're gonna take this color. Make it this color. There we go. And then we're gonna need a script that just func show empty indicator. What? I've got a cat chirping at me. Oh, chirp cat. There's a blanket on the bed, and she didn't want to jump onto the bed with a blanket on it. What a silly little cat. Wait, how did this work in the tutorial? Triangle was false, modulate, self dot. Okay, so right, it's because it's on the top. So, I shouldn't name these two. I need to name them. Maybe I should just name them background, foreground versus empty indicator. Show ground. Func hide foreground. Dot hide. Yay. Okay, now I just need I need to borrow some of this script. No, this is the other one. I want this one. Body that modulate. Okay, var is empty equals true. I think there's gotta be a smarter way to than just like checking it every frame. how's this? Okay, so how does this code work? Okay, if it's so mouse position equals giggled mouse position. I feel like I just want to copy this all in and like let it figure itself out. Because I haven't done anything weird here, right? So just, yeah, so I just like, Control C. Wait, no, I probably shouldn't do that. Okay, so node 2D, okay, so sprite 2D. Okay, so item slot, grid, I don't even have an item. Okay, so here's item slot, I don't need this. I need item. Okay, so let's see my user interface as well. Name that item. Add a child node of a sprite. Great. Got a child node of a sprite, 2D, right? And then I need a static body. Yeah, child node. Wait, no, it's an area 3D, isn't it? Collision shape. Change type. Area 2D, great. Now I need to make this rectangle that is 128 by 128, great. Let's look at this in 2D. Okay, sprite 2D. Fantastic. Now add a script here. Let's just copy paste all this. Great. Now I need a project settings, globals, global. Oh. Okay, so we need a globals.gd new script. Okay, great. Right, great. So global.gd. Great. So var string. Here we go. Scene. See a scene. Okay, that's saved. And then project settings, global, add, there we go. So this script should stop complaining. This is the main, I guess. So, wait, no, I don't even have any items. I need some way to have the items interact with the containers. Position. Okay, let's just add an item to this all. See what happens. Okay. Great. project settings, input map, add new action, click, great. Mouse buttons, mouse button, great. Boom. Nope. Okay, so that's not the issue. So it's not reacting to us at all, huh? It's not getting bigger or smaller. Nope. Change type. Node 2D, great. Now we have to change this back to Node 2D. Now will it work? Nope. Okay, let's undo that. Control Shift Z. Control Shift Z, there we go. Change type. Control. Okay, what else am I missing? Okay, so item. Oh, okay, they're not actually connected, right? So they need to be connected to item slot. Func. So static body, which is now a change type to area 2D. Change, rename it to great. Connect. 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 Okay, now nothing. Oh, sorry, cat. Oh, what's up? What's up, cat? Okay, I'll be right back. Kitty cat wants something. Well, I think she wanted new water. We'll find out. Okay. So it's not responding at all. And these are all connected. So what else could be? Oh, in group. Okay, so we need to make this. It needs. Wait, what's in the group droppable? Wait, no, that's only if we're actually interested. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So if draggable. Wait, how does draggable become true? Okay, so this all only happens if it's draggable. So we go back to this one, item. Draggable equals false. Item slot. Script doesn't do anything. Global is dragging is false. Draggable. Okay, so on area 2D mouse entered, if not, global dot is dragging. Okay, global dot is dragging. Oh, okay, wait. So my global, no, that's his dragging. Okay. Draggable is false. Wait, did I put the script in the wrong place? Stuck by. Okay, this script doesn't do anything, does it? Wait, this. No, that script is on the item, not the item slot. Okay, but the item slot has to have the group droppable for that to work, which I should implement on this. Groups. Great. However, okay. Did I magically make it work? Oh, what is it, kitty cat? What? What? Oh, okay. I'm gonna play with you, huh? Okay. Okay. Well, I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours, and my cat really wants to play with some string. So we've hit a good stopping point. I will pick this up maybe later today, maybe not. I'm not sure, but look at this little kitty cat. Actually, I guess you can't look at her, but look at her. This is a cat that wants to play with some string. And who would I be to deny her that? So yeah, we're gonna end stream for the day. Thank you to everyone who came. Like, comment, subscribe if you like. And yeah, I'm gonna sign off in about a minute. Let's see, it's currently 2:44. So yeah, 2:45. We're gonna end the stream. Kitty. All right, kitty. There we go. Yeah, murder it. Oh my gosh, you're a good cat. Yes. All right. Yes. Yo, cute kitty. Yeah, thank you. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see y'all some point soon. I am streaming tomorrow. I forget. It's gonna be Ultima and Fallout tomorrow, so I'll do that tomorrow.